Talk about Elder Lawyer real quick. Real quick. Because we just went into the judgment of the gods this Sunday, right? And in the midst of it, it's one thing that I didn't mention that most people have a question on, right? So I'm going to give people some tidbits before I give the announcements for the whole academy and what ideas, what lessons we've created for the next one, okay? We went into the judgment of the gods and how when you look in the Old Testament, it goes into the gods that were judged. But under the Sumerian religion, it's more so sensationalized as a good thing. The fallen angels, the Anunnaki coming down and doing certain things. So what we did was we showed you that what you see in the Sumerian text and the Sumerian archaeology was in fact the fallen gods that the Bible highlights, right? But it's one thing in particular I said I wanted to break down, because you have those who's in Egyptology, those who deal with Egyptology, and usually in the black segment of America, where they go back and go into ancient Babylonian religions and don't realize its origin, who try to glorify some of the actions that were learned, which our God, the God of the Bible, was against. And that's really the friction when people say, well, the Bible is tampered with, we don't deal with the Bible. They don't realize they're being led by gods to do what? To turn their back on the Almighty and to do what? They don't know spiritually. They're being taught to reject their own salvation, right? But I digress. There's some actions that I said that I would talk about outside of cosmology. I said that brothers and sisters don't even know the origin of when you see people, Elder Lawyer, pouring libations for the dead, right? I believe that became something famous, during the advent or the popularity of rap music. You would see, this is for my homies, and they would pour. I remember growing up in the 2000s, and that was regular. You would see it where rappers and all that are pouring out drinks for their homies. And you have others out there pouring libations and all that, and don't even realize what it is. Well, when you go into the Sumerian breakdown of Sumerian religions, it talks about the afterlife. The afterlife are where the fallen gods are bound. Now, we go into that in full detail to prove the Bible highlights this. And actually, what you see in the Sumerian religion, it actually confirms that what the Bible taught was right. What it teaches is right, that we're not alone. But I'll leave it there until the next academy. One thing in particular, real quick, right, that I wanted to show is when you go into the breakdown of the Sumerian religion, right? If you go down here to afterlife, I need y'all to check this out, folks. Afterlife. The Sumerian afterlife was a dark, dreary cavern located deep below the ground, where inhabitants were believed to continue a shadowy version of life on Earth. This bleak domain was known as Ker and was believed to be ruled by the goddess Ereshkigal. All souls went to the same afterlife. Now, hence, this lets us know why Christ had to go into hell to take the keys. All right. Why? Because when Adam fell, he lost power within this earth, and it was given over to the fallen ones, mainly Satan. Remember that, right? So listen to this. It says all souls went to the same afterlife, and a person's actions during life had no effect on how the person would be treated in the world to come, as they claim. The souls in Ker were believed to eat nothing but dry dust, and family members of the deceased would ritually pour libations into the dead person's grave through a clay pipe, thereby allowing the dead to drink. So if you want to know the origin of libations, under the Sumerian religion, which is the Babylonian religion, it's really feeding the disobedient spirits, nourishing the fallen gods. So when someone claimed they pour in libations for their ancestors, no, they're not our ancestors, okay? These are fallen beings who are what? Who are in the state of hell until judgment. And that's what we broke down in detail, those gods. What you see, a lot of the symbolisms you see, Nike and all these other things, these are really gods that are stored in the earth until judgment. And this is why those who follow those ideologies hate the Bible. They hate God. See? So I wanted to pour that out there because a lot of people don't even, they thought it was a term like more so, an endearment in respect of the dead. A lot of our people, some that does this, don't even know what it is. But it was pouring water into the ground. And what the Sumerians thought that if you prayed, the magic would take the water through a pipe and actually nourish your ancestor in hell. In hell. Okay? So a lot of y'all didn't know that. And it's above me how Christians do these things, not realizing that you're nourishing, according to their ideology, the evil ones. All right. I wanted to put that out there real quick, but folks, that was just a touch of some of what we go into in the academy as far as breaking things down and giving you the understanding of where it comes from. But who are those guys? The goddess that they show through Starbucks. Who's the god Nike? Who's that god? And were they real? Are they identified in the Bible? Hey, we're going to be going into that, and we're going to be going into breaking down the races of people in the earth. Who are they, and what is the prophecy, not just for the so-called white man, but for the earth? The judgment of the Gentiles, highlighted on the next level, will be taught in the next academy. So let me also give you, I'm about to go in. All right, I have to make this announcement since we're week 12 of the academy here. Okay, lawyer, then I'm going to dive in, okay? I think we're at 7:15. We're good. Brothers and sisters, we have just 3 weeks to spring forward with the Hebrew and Bible Academy that starts on Sunday, April 18th. Be there. We will have brand new in-depth lessons that have never been taught before. On what? Portals. The gates between heaven and earth. How do angels travel? And do we have guardian angels? We're going into that. Next academy. Also, portals, the gates of heaven to earth. Number 1. Number 2, marriage and family. And I'm going to really set the stage for that today with this particular topic today, this evening. Marriage and family. Can it survive? And check this out. We're breaking down, instead of the 4 beasts of Daniel, we're going into the 70 weeks of Daniel. Breaking down the full 70 weeks prophetically. And where are we according to that prophecy? We're near the very end, the tippy end. So I need to really go into that. And usually when the Most High give us understanding, we break it down on the school level first in the academy. And then later on, we may, then we go into it prophetically and start teaching it on the streets and talk to the other people out there. But this is scholarly understanding that you can totally understand. It doesn't matter if you went to school. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a theologian to understand this book, because this book is your book. The Most High have given us the understanding to break it down and to actually put things into lessons, broken down, that's sent to your email. You understand, a lot of work goes behind getting these lessons together. They don't just pop up. Okay, so we put the resources together, the precepts together for you, and you have it right there waiting in your email address. The 70 weeks of Daniel. Come to school. And we have a lesson, the book of Revelation, how it all ends according to prophecy. Now, I dropped a little in our Sabbath lesson when it comes to, yes, there will be portals that will be grabbed through in certain areas, okay? And that cannot be denied, okay? But that still doesn't change the fact that if you are a citizen in a country, you should have the identification that's needed to be able to transition one place to the next. Even though we know in certain areas, the Most High will pull us through portals. It still doesn't change. Paul was what? He was a Roman citizen, which means he had his credentials. So when he went to one city, he was able to show his credentials and it would get him through. So the same thing. We're not going to get this stuff injected. We're not dealing with none of that crap, but we're going to get all the credentials we need. So when we're persecuted in one city, flee in the next. Okay, so we're going to be going into more of that. Okay, now, the book of Revelation, how it all ends, plus updated lessons with myself and other lawyer, groundbreaking news from Brother Shapat. And the news was crazy this Sunday. And we're going to be inviting in some professionals, well, some guests in the academy. We're going to get some nurses, some other people who are out there blowing the whistle. We're going to bring them in for 5 to 7 minutes to 10 minutes to give us some updates on what's going on in the healthcare field, what's going on in that field. So we're going to bring some components to it and play clips of what highly credentialed doctors and nurses are saying. Things that we cannot say here, we have to do there. I mean, it's a blessing that we're here before you because we almost, they almost struck one of our lessons we just did, just divulging some information, warning our people from the beast serum. Okay, so you can get a lot of that in the academy and more. And those who are in the academy, y'all can call in today and give us tell brothers and sisters what you've experienced there. We're going to open that up. Okay, now the enrollment is open. Listen to me clearly now. Here's the dates. Our people are always working in the last minute and then they get upset with me trying to call, whatever the case might be. All right. Enrollment is open until April 16th. They open now up until the 16th of April. Enroll today. Go to historytimes.org. You see that right there. historytimes.org to enroll. It's only 2 payments of $75. $75 for the first month, $75 for the second month, and then you got to worry about it. You're paid up for the whole academy. You get the third month. It's that simple. 2 payments of $75, you get 3 months, 12 lessons. So get in, all right? If you have been in the academy before and will enroll again, this will be your first academy. Or if this will be your first academy, please call in with your comments or testimony about what you've experienced. Because some people, they try to guess and try to quantify what it is. But when you get in it, then you realize, yeah, this is something different. So if you've been in the academy, if you have any questions, call in. We want to hear your input, okay? Now, let's go in. We're right at the top, okay? Go to historytimes.org, be a part of the academy, all right? Where are we?